2023 National Premier League Queensland Finals are here as the sights and sounds of September all lead to Suncorp Stadium for the game every team want to play in. The Brisbane Classico headlines the second semi-final as Brisbane City host Lions FC, where there are no second chances for any team left in 2023. The team news is in, and Brisbane City stick with Riley Stent in goals. Daniel Bowles and Luke Plummer are the two central defenders in a back four. Jack Benham gets the call up to the starting 11 this evening as former Lions man Jason McQuarrie will lead an expected front three. Whilst Lions select Luke Berean to wear the gloves, Josh Brindle-South and Jackson Hart-Phillips start at the back with a licence to push forward as Rio Ono partners Andy Pengelly, completing Lions' attack. Our referees for tonight include the fourth official, Zach Keenan, our two assistants, Oleg Labuz and Cameron Fawcett, and Zijaj Armatovic is the main man in the middle. Of course, we are at Imperial Corp Stadium, 21 degrees with light clouds. It does feel like it is sitting around that 19-degree mark as sunset was at 5:36 p.m. So only moments ago. And of course, we have the second NPL semi-final between City and Lions. Gold Coast Knights await Peninsula Power as Moreton Bay United will find out who they face off in the preliminary final. The NPL is in its 8th month of the year as February kicked off the race for the Premiership. September starts the challenge for the Championship. Will Knights complete the treble? Can Moreton Bay dream like it's 2015? And who will brag for one of the biggest Brisbane Classicos? Buckle up. It's about to get fun here at Imperial Corp Stadium and in September. Of course, it is Brisbane City running from left to right as Riley Stent takes his time with getting the ball forward. And there's Jack Benham with an early header, the youngster starting tonight. He has featured in the run home for Brisbane City, more specifically on the bench for the majority of the back end of the regular season. However, Carl Dodd sees something in him to start him tonight against this Lions outfit. Big crowd here tonight, packing out the stadium in Newmarket. It's fantastic to see finals as well and truly alive, and we're here to see one of the biggest games of 2023 to date. And we see Braden Doolan going to ground, and that's an early foul. Jackson Hart-Phillips gives it away. It is Doolan and Kai Bolton who stand over the free kick. Bolton to whip it in. It's towards that back post. And the referee's decision is a goal kick. Of course, they'll be looking for a better start than last weekend. Brisbane City, Gold Coast United hit the front early in their final round game of the regular season. They eventually clawed their way back to didn't claw their way back, they stormed their way back to a 4-1 win in the end as Makwaze turns a corner and then the ball across the face of goal, cleared by Brindle South. Lions still yet to deal with it. Eventually Duckworth gets rid of it, but City have possession as Chiba gets an early touch. Ramazani cycles the ball back for Jared. Quite the duo in the centre of defence for Lions. Tommy Jarrett and his own Ramazani. And Brisbane City boast a back four, which is quite solid itself. Plummer and Bowles in the centre. And you have the left and right backs of Ifaka Onasiake and Connor McKenzie. Jared Cooley plays it to Brindle South. Now Duckworth. Ramazani. Of course, quite a peculiar end to season 2023 as far as the rounds were concerned. A late change to the finals saw 4 teams extended to 6 as Jackson Hart-Phillips extends his run towards that ball. Sean Carlos can't quite manage a touch as Chiba lifts it over the top. Now Bolton will receive the pass back, and Brisbane City now make their way forward into Lions half. Here's Kai Bolton. Bolton for Makwaze. Jason Makwaze! And now the shot from Connor McKenzie rising. A great little moment there for Brisbane City. Makwaze with the opportunity. Held out in the end by Barine and Ramazani before Connor McKenzie just lifting it over the top. Now Ryan Denton going to ground and picks up the foul. So the opening 6+ minutes, quite the setting. As drama is expected tonight, Makwaze with an early opportunity. Now Lions get the free kick. And of course, in both meetings this year, Lions have taken an early lead. And Brisbane City haven't managed to make their way back. As the old boys' deck is full. Right, Denton. Got it up and over. And now Rio Ono's shot blocked as Brindle South gets a touch. Here he is again, Brindle South. You can hear the home supporters certainly cheering for that sky blue jersey. You just hear the atmosphere here at Imperial Corp Stadium. And touching on those two fixtures, round 3 and round 14, when these two sides met, Lions took a 3-0 lead after 17 minutes in round 3. City brought it back to 3-2, but then Lions ended up with 6 on that occasion, and there were 7 different goal scorers, with Ivan Ozzie managing a brace inside the first 10 minutes. And of course, to make matters worse for City on that occasion, Oliver Plusnen, who isn't featuring tonight. He isn't in the starting 11 nor on the bench. He was sent off late in that match. And then round 14, Ivan Ozzie once again on the score sheet. He opened the scoring in the 37th minute. Jace Hudson unfortunately managed an own goal in the second half, which put Lions up by 2. As that was a critical game in the year, and Noah Maioroni was suspended for that match after picking up a red card the previous week against Peninsula Power. And again tonight, Noah Maioroni starting on the bench. Judging by poor pass form, Maioroni would slot into that midfield role, but tonight it's Jack Benham. So Carl Dodd just mixing things up a little as Ramazani now finds Hart Phillips. Oh no, runs into trouble. And it was this point exactly that Ivan Ozzie had 2 in the back of the net in round 3. And of course, last weekend, United had an early lead. So City will, I'm sure, be much more pleased with their start so far. An early chance to go with a decent run of play. But both sides really looking up for it tonight. Makwaze. Former member of Lions, where he featured in 2 grand finals, Jason Makwaze. Coming up against the old foe tonight. And of course, this rivalry dates back a very long way in the history of Queensland football. And aren't we lucky we get a third meeting between these two. And it wasn't really going to be the case heading into last round, as I alluded to earlier. Lions were sitting 4th, City were 5th, and it looked as though only one, well, it was the fact one could only really make the top 4, but after the change in format, both sides were guaranteed a spot in the finals. And if things would have stayed the same in terms of a top 4 finals, then City would have jumped Lions on the final day. But we weren't exposed to that drama, of course. We just had to wait a week. Instead of these two playing different opponents to battle it out for who progresses in season 2023, well, they get to face off against each other. Brindle South. That was a good run from the number 14, slotting it right back. Represented both Wellington Phoenix and the Brisbane Roar. He signed with the Brisbane Roar in October of 2020. And of course, joined Lions halfway through this season. A very handy acquisition. He's bolstering their squad. Here's Duckworth's delivery. Plummer looks to find Makwaze, which he eventually does. And now Braden Doolan. He's lit up the competition in recent weeks, Braden Doolan. Jackson Hart Phillips has the task of defending him. Doolan, Halliday, Kai Bolton gets it down to Benham. Jack Benham! Oh yes, yes, yes! The youngster gives Brisbane City the lead. What a moment. What a goal. Jack Benham. With a goal that will long live in his memory. And the fans of Brisbane City. It was Braden Doolan who made inroads. And eventually the ball landed at Benham's feet. As Rio Ono has a sider. And Jack Benham picked out his spot and delivered. Much to the delight of this crowd. And they're keen on changing this timeline up. It's the first time this year they've hit the front against Lions. In 180 minutes they have not led in both fixtures, and now when it really matters in the semi-final, they've got an early lead. But one thing's for sure, Lions aren't going anywhere. They are serial killers when it comes to the finals, of course. Very experienced bunch. Three-time National Premier League champions, 2018, 2020 and 2021. That's a lovely layoff for Matt Wright-Denton. Pangeli it was, picking out the former Wellington Phoenix man. They can't really hold a record of 3 games unbeaten, despite them being all draws. Lions. And that's something that they've struggled with in 2023. 10 draws all up, 5 away and 5 at home in the league. So out of 22 weeks, 10 of those games finished in a draw, as they were forced to share the points. And of course, if that's the case tonight, then, well, we're heading to a little bit of extra time. And potentially penalties. The last 3 draws were against Moreton Bay United, Eastern Suburbs and Gold Coast Knights. They were all 1-1 draws. In the Gold Coast Knights game, they probably should have won that one. They conceded a late penalty, which Godfrey DeBelle finished off. And then prior to that Melbourne Knights fixture in the Australia Cup, they faced Rochdale Rovers, and that was also a 1-1 draw in round 19. course, that Melbourne Knights match in the Australia Cup was a 4-1 loss. So I'll be looking for a different result here. Riley Stent was all alone. Didn't have anyone around him. Usually there are a plethora of bodies in front of the keeper. But on this occasion, Riley Stent had an easy job. I'm sure it won't be easy for the rest of tonight. The attack Lions possess. Of course, the club's leading goal scorer and second in the National Premier League's Queensland, Andy Pengelly, with 16 this year. Marquez Walters sits first with 17 in the Golden Boot standings. Duckworth. Now Rio Ono. And Braden Doolan back deep there for City, doing some defending as Makwaze holds out Ramazani. Here's Doolan. And Bryant comes out to collect it. Very threatening figure, Braden Doolan. A lot of energy, gets through a mountain of work. Spent time at Brisbane Roar Youth, Lions, and most recently Western Pride. Sean Carlos picks out bowls. There's not only goals that Braden Doolan provides, 5 assists in season 2023. As the other man on the other flank, Jinjiro Chiba, wanted a foul. It was waved off in the end, probably the correct call. Potentially going to ground a little too easy there, Jinjiro Chiba. Of course, the last semi-final that Lions played in was in the Kappa Pro Series against Gold Coast Knights. They lost 4-0 that night. Brindle South, Ono was there. Faka Onasiake clears. And Ry Denton has no time to rest. As now Doolan sets off. Doolan's collided in there by Jackson Hart-Phillips. And now Doolan just doesn't have his left foot on target. But another nice moment from City's number 11. It only took 15 minutes for Knights to jump out to a 3-0 lead in that semi-final. They just couldn't stop the bleeding that night in the Croatian Sports Centre. And the signs of it here as Brisbane City had moments of cutting them to pieces on the counter-attack. Of course, the score is only 1-0 and there's a long way to go, but And certainly possessing very, very clinical attack at the moment, City. But right now it's Lions on the ball. That's right, Denton. Lands it at Riley Stent. Hit it first time. Matt Denton. Just picked out the man in green. Along with Oliver Plasner and Yokoyama Masashi, who's also out tonight in every context of that word. He's not in the starting 11 nor on the bench. They do carry Jackson Simpkins along with Matt Jones, Matt Thurtell, Myroney and Fowler as outfield player options, Brisbane City, while Jace Hudson is the reserve goalkeeper. And Jace Hudson did play in the round 14 fixture against Lions. It was Riley Stent that wore the gloves in the 6-3 loss in round 3. Now Ramazani. Here Ono. The crowd very invested tonight. Pengeli. Brindle South. Right, Denton. Pengeli. The ball just came a little too quick to him. Riley Stent got a glove to it. It's an intriguing battle with Jackson Hart-Phillips and Connor McKenzie. He's done a lot of attacking tonight, Jackson Hart-Phillips. And I suspect that will continue. As now he slots back into that left back position while they hold the ball in their own half. Signed with Lions in 2022. He too was a part of the Brisbane Royal Youth Academy. And Connor McKenzie has been in and out of the squad for the majority of this year. He joined Brisbane City in 2007 as a junior. So he knows this club inside out. I'm sure a lot of blood, sweat and tears has gone for that City crest. It's only Jackson Hart-Phillips that he and the back four have to worry about. Of course, Rio Ono, Andy Pengeli. We've seen Rai Denton push forward. Sean Carlos is another name that pops up in attacking moments. He's been helped out by Braden Doolan, as he too has trekked up and down the touchline a fair bit. We come towards the opening half an hour. Sean Carlos just gets tangled up. And the whistle went. Of course, wearing the captain's armband tonight, Sean Carlos. He too is a junior of Lions. Tries to pick up that loose ball, right? Denton. Rolling it back for Brindle South. It's eventually dealt with there by City. But a nervy moment. See Carl Dodd on the edge of the technical area. Marshalling his troops. Of course, Darren Syme, his opposite number tonight. Two very experienced coaches. And of course, in the first semi-final that was played on Friday night, Gold Coast United losing out to Peninsula Power 3-1. The Coplicks. Power with just a little too much fire in that game. Of course, they go on to play Gold Coast Knights. The winner of this will face Moreton Bay United at Walter Park next weekend. That game will take place on Saturday the 9th of September at 6 p.m. That's when it's scheduled for, at least. And that other preliminary final between Knights and Power set up for a Friday night showdown at 7:30 p.m. Touching on that Lions record in finals. They're also three-time premiers, 18, 19 and 22. Their lowest finish before 2023 was 4th in the National Premier League's Queensland. That was in 2020 and 2021. And believe it or not, they won the grand final in both those years. They also won it in 2018 against Olympic. That went to extra time. All their grand finals they've won have been against Olympic, and the two semi-finals they faced off against Olympic were in 2019 and 2022. The semi-final in 19 went 2-1 the way of Olympic, and then in 22 it went 3-2 the way of the visitors on that occasion, which were Olympic again. Of course, a last-minute goal, or a late goal rather, from Olympic secured their grand final spot, which was against Gold Coast Knights. The Knights ran away 2-0 winners at Perry Park. So you could say Lions are quite lucky to appear in the final series this year in some senses. Their lowest finish in the National Premier League Queensland in 5th. Halliday was making the run. Doolan just overcooked the pass. And that man on the ball there, Tommy Jarrett, named in Match Week 22 Team of the Week, along with Jinjiro Chiba and Braden Doolan of Brisbane City. So 3 representatives in that team playing tonight. Right, Denton. Spotting the run of Brindle South. As for Brisbane City, well, since 2019, the past 4 seasons, they finished 6th in 2019, finished 13th in 2020 as they were relegated by 3 points from the National Premier League's Queensland. Of course, were promoted again in 2021, and then last year they finished 5th, missing out on the top 4 by 5 points. And this season, of course, they finished 4th. It's their first finals appearance in 10 years. So a decade has flown by since Brisbane City last had a male top side in the finals. And they're greeted by Lions. As I touched on, Matt Thurtle joined City in 2023 after 8 years in the Victorian NPL. He is their top goal scorer with 9 this year. He sits 5th in the National Premier League's Queensland list of goal scorers. And tonight he also sits on the bench to start with. Opting for Makwaze, Chiba and Braden Doolan to occupy the front 3 positions is Carl Dodd. Makwaze traps it in the corner. Now Doolan gets stuck with it. Makwaze forcing a ball in and sits up for Brian. And Luke Brian will take his time. Of course, the last semi-final that Luke Brian played in was quite a large scoring one. He was on the wrong end of it as he was playing for Brisbane Strikers last year in the FQPL 1 semi-final. They faced Rochdale Rovers, and Rochdale notched up 4 goals to Strikers 1. Such a decorated member of this Lions outfit over the recent years, though, and rightly so. Return to Lions this year after that season stint at Strikers. Carlos, Andy Pangeli. The flag was up. It was null and void, but Riley Stent makes the stop. Despite it, wouldn't have counted. Sean Carlos, Pangeli. Sean Carlos just sighing away as he saw the flag in the air. Lions' best chance of this match by far and away. Of course, it landed for Andy Pangeli. Sean Carlos with some lovely work in the build-up. Another man that sits in that Lions midfield. He gets plenty of touches. Probably doesn't feature on the highlight reel as much as he should, as there's a real rock in that midfield is Jesse Rigby, former Brisbane City man, signed from Peninsula Power. So he too coming up against an old club. As it's Jinjiro Chiba lifting it over the top. Braden Doolan lets it fall to his feet. McKenzie, Makwaze, Chiba was there too. And now Kai Bolton will drill it in. looks as though Josh Brindle South is struggling with something at the moment as he copped a knock there in that contest with Chiba and Makwaze. As he'll receive some attention. Josh Brindle South. Get escorted off the field. So hopefully he's okay to return. Just over 5 minutes remaining in this first half. A moment there, but Ry Denton gets it away. Rio Ono and just pull on the handbrake as he was approaching Luke Plummer. And the offside flag is raised, this time for Brisbane City. Their home record sits at 5 wins, 3 draws and 3 losses in all competitions. It's been quite a tough place to come. Of course, Imperial Corp Stadium was a FIFA Women's World Cup facility. They picked up 11 points from a possible 18 in a 7-game away run. Which is certainly a pass mark. Well, they spent all that time away. And Rio Ono! That was a lot closer than many anticipated. Riley Stent knew it, but it just misses the frame of the goal. He's picked up the ball in acres of space on a number of occasions tonight, Rio Ono. In 2021 with Moreton Bay United, he was in the team of the season. He scored 21 goals. He had 26 goal assists, and he was an NPL All-Star that year. And before that, he was a Capella Bar man, and you can see why Lions wanted him in the squad with that record in 2021. And some of his touches tonight. And again, the offside flag held up. It's not necessarily Brisbane City getting caught offside for making forward runs rather than just retreating into an onside position. As the ball is floated back towards their way, they've been caught lacking at a number of occasions, and it's just given Lions the ball back in good territory. Yeah, they turn it over here once more. And Braden Doolan sets off. Hassan Ramazani copped a fair bit in the back. Referee allows play to continue. Braden Doolan with a lot of intensity in that challenge. And now it's Rigby. Ramazani off for Jared. Ramazani, Hart Phillips, Sean Carlos parked out on this left-hand side. I mentioned their home record, City. One of the other competitions besides the league was the Cover Pro Series. They finished third in Group B, 4 points behind first, which was Gold Coast Knights, the eventual winners of the Pro Series. And now Carlos spotted the run from Duckworth. And now Chiba can't quite get past Tommy Jarrett, and he does well. The centre back for Lions picking up the foul. They set off on a foot race. Of course, Jinjiro Chiba scored that magical goal last weekend to seal the deal against Gold Coast United. On that occasion, he was well watched by Jared. It's Jack Benham who has the goal for Brisbane City. A long-range shot, providing them the lead. Now Doolan. Chiba was inside that 6-yard box. And it's left for Kai Bolton to fetch. Braden Doolan's just going to stroll towards the ball as they stay in play here. Ramazani, plenty of guile. Ensures Doolan has the last touch, providing Lions the throw-in. Plummer gets over the top of Carlos. Plummer, this time he won't get the better of Sean Carlos, but it is Connor McKenzie that wins the ball back for City. Half-time is here, and the first 45 minutes really delivering at Imperial Corp Stadium. Jack Benham with the one and only goal to take us to the break. Don't go anywhere. This semi-final is far from done. Half-time, Brisbane City 1, Lions FC 0. We'll see you after the break for the second half of the second semi-final.
The thing about us Australians, everyone's a coffee critic. You give us a lackluster latte, we'll turn it into a down-the-sink cappuccino. That's why for our 30th birthday, we're celebrating 30 years of early risers, sideline cheers, road trip pick-me-ups, and long sips squeezed into short breaks. Because at McCafe, we're committed to making a smooth, rich blend of coffee, not just fit for anyone, but coffee fit for an Aussie.
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
The thing about us Australians, everyone's a coffee critic. You give us a lackluster latte, we'll turn it into a down-the-sink cappuccino. That's why for our 30th birthday, we're celebrating 30 years of early risers, sideline cheers, road trip pick-me-ups, and long sips squeezed into short breaks. Because at McCafe, we're committed to making a smooth, rich blend of coffee, not just fit for anyone, but coffee fit for an Aussie.
We welcome you back to Imperial Corp Stadium as we see the Brisbane City logo shining in the night sky. Thank you to the Double Take crew for, of course, providing us all the action to wherever you may be watching, however you may be watching, the second semi-final of the National Premier League's Queensland. Brisbane City, thanks to Jack Benham, hold a 1-0 advantage as Lions look to turn this ship around. "45 minutes is all that stands between Brisbane City and a preliminary final appearance. However, Lions will have something to say about that. Will we need 45 or will we need a little longer? About to find out. I'm sure we have plenty in store. Carl Dodd and Darren Syme would have had a chance to readdress their sides. Two different team talks, I'd assume. But both with the same intent. One thing's for sure, this home crowd will be happy. Holding the 1-0 lead. Well, how long will that last? Does City have another up their sleeve, or, of course, Lions can certainly equalise. They've done that a number of times this year. And now, the referee, Ziad Armatovic, will just check on the welfare. Looks as though it's Scott Halliday receiving the treatment, a part of the Brisbane Strikers FFA Cup run in 2019. And of course, 2021 FQPL Player of the Year, Scott Halliday. And right now, looks as though it's that right leg that's causing him a little bit of havoc. He seems to be moving freely though. Of course, Noah Myroney sits on the bench, a midfielder who can slot in there. Also, Matt Thurtle has played in the midfield this season. And I'm sure Scott Halliday will make his way back onto the field very quickly. Just run through the formalities. Rio Ono picks up a handball, and there is Halliday. All good to go again. It was Rio Ono who had a couple of siders in the first half. Andy Pengelly also a chance or two that he took into half time. Just didn't quite manage the back of the net. Jack Benham is the one for City. He made his shot count. Luke Berean got across, but not quick enough. Now it's going to be the throw-in from Connor McKenzie. Asks to hurry up a little. As Doolan flicks it on. Makwaze. Chiba! It just wouldn't sit for him. Just kind of bounced its way through. Plenty of traffic. Rigby, Hart Phillips, Rydenton, Duckworth, all there. But Jinjiro Chiba was allowed to shoot. Unfortunately, full over the top if you're a Brisbane City member. Now it's Sean Carlos. And Sean Carlos is met by a very well-timed Kai Bolton challenge. Halliday. Now it's away for Mackenzie. Braden Doolan. Plenty of running in his legs. Connor Mackenzie lifting it over the top. And Jinjiro Chiba! Double Cities lead. And don't the home fans love that? Well, it's a longer way back now for Lions. 2-0. Jinjiro Chiba, the goal scorer. We talk about Lions with 10 draws in the league this season. Well, they're going to need 2 moments of brilliance to force that. Brisbane City that have made their chances count. Braden Doolan is offside. The flag came late. Sure. You just see it here. Doolan just trying to hold his run up, but in the end, he drifted offside. He has enough pace that it wouldn't surprise you if he did pick up the ball in such a space. Can really cut through defences. That's what Lions are going to have to do here. Josh Brindle South. Away for Rigby. And Jared. Almost tripped up. He eventually gets the pass away and the free kick. Duckworth, that's a good looking ball. Tommy Jarrett. Unleash the strike. Jackson Hart Phillips turns it for Ramazani. Chiba. It's a fair challenge by Joe Duckworth. There was a lot of feisty challenges in that round 14 match, their previous meeting. However, it's been a little more tame tonight. Notable collisions that have really caused the referee, Matovic, to get involved. Still no cards, which is also a good sign. The Lions may have to up their intensity a little bit, both in attack and in defence. One thing is for sure, a 2-0 scoreline, one of the more dangerous scorelines in football. That insurance policy isn't always forgiving, as Lions are well and truly capable of getting one back. If they get one back, of course, confidence grows and the momentum turns. Jack Benham. Quasi. Doolan. And Brindle South this time deals with the cross into the area. Bolton. Bounces around like a pinball before Rio Ono is given a ball to chase. But Daniel Bowles calmly collects it. Picks up a few applauses from the crowd as they appreciate the centre back's work. Handy member to have in your back line. Not only the captain, Daniel Bowles, but has a very healthy resume in his footballing career. Played his juniors in Toowoomba. He made his Brisbane Raw debut in 2014. That was against the Newcastle Jets. 114 appearances in the end in the A-League for Daniel Bowles. It's Duckworth with another free kick. Riley Stent got a glove on it. Ian Bowles almost twisted up. But it will be a corner. So we catch this one again. No real orange jerseys to note in the mix. Jesse Rigby potentially the closest. Now it's Ry Denton's ball towards the back post. Carlos heads it back towards goal. And it's going to be another corner. Now Duckworth. And McKenzie it was who got the last touch, so it'll be back for Ry Denton. Similar to a game of tennis right now, back and forth. The City can only manage to concede another corner. Here's their third in succession. Ry Denton goes short this time. Not quite what he would have intended. Makwaze for Benham. And here's the man you want on the ball, Braden Doolan. Surrounded by orange jerseys. Rigby puts up the biggest fight. And in the end, Rigby gets things rolling back the way of Lions. Carlos enters Brisbane City's half. Can they mount something of substance? That's just been lacking. Quality chances so far for Lions. Brisbane City have just about answered every question that Lions have thrown at them. Of course, one man that can pose some problems is Ivan Ozzie, 2022 Lions FC under-23's Golden Boot winner with 25 goals. So he's a known goal scorer. He was also Player of the Year at Lions in that under-23s division last year. And of course, he scored in both meetings against City throughout 2023, so he's probably the obvious one that Darren Syme will look to inject, and that's him there on the bench in the purple bib. Looks as though he's ready to come on. Who for is the obvious question. Rio Ono has swapped in and out with Aussie at times. Andy Pengelly, of course, plays up top, but I'm sure if you'll take off the leading goal scorer for your club. Zach Keenan just waving that official board around. Just couldn't quite grab a glimpse of the number in red. Got a little insight into what Darren Symes' thinking is. Denton now picks up Jackson Hart-Phillips. And now Duckworth. Faka Onasiake clears. And Denton, who scored a cracking goal against Gold Coast Knights all the way back in round 20. He definitely has a long-range shot in him.
Substitution for the Lions, number 8, Jesse Rigby, to be replaced by number 17, Ivan Ozzie.
And Jesse Rigby will be replaced by Ivan Ozzie. And it looks as though Fletcher McDonald will also be coming onto the park. And Sean Carlos exits the fray. Former Brisbane Strikers man has done his dash as Fletcher McDonald, formerly a part of Southwest Queensland Thunder, gets the call up from Darren Syme. So it's McDonald and Ozzie, the two trusted to turn this around for Lions. Ivan Ozzie looks to have slotted up top. Fletcher McDonald, a natural midfielder, we believe will rotate in and out of the lines. There he is there. Fletcher McDonald just making the forward run as Rio Ono lays it off for Tommy Jarrett. Of course, it wasn't only Brisbane City that had to hand over their fields for the FIFA Women's World Cup. It was Lions with Luxury Paint Stadium. They had an 8 away game run in the National Premier League. 7 of those games were in succession. And they only picked up 7 points from a possible 21 on that away trek. And their away record is 9 wins, 5 draws and 3 losses. So it is still a healthy set of numbers for Lions. And of course, they definitely have a finals record that holds a major reputation in this part of the world. But now it's Kai Bolton going inside the area, one way then another. And Ramazani gets his head in front before Barine picks up the loose ball. They look to attack immediately. Fletcher McDonald playing it forward for Ivan Ozzie. And Luke Plummer stands up when it matters most for Brisbane City. It was a quick attack. Berean straight to McDonald, onto Ozzie, but his long legs just couldn't get it out in front. As Luke Plummer, right by his side, dips in with the challenge and forces another corner. Right, Denton it was again. Hart-Phillips waits for it to fall. And Joe Duckworth just miscues that ball. Here it is again. Faka Onasiake getting rid of it. And then an uncharacteristic moment there for Joe Duckworth. Of course, he spoke during the week, did Joe Duckworth, suggesting they were disappointed that they missed out on a top 4 spot, despite still being a part of the final setup. It's something that doesn't quite match their ambition for 2023, as He was adamant they're keen to get things moving in September. And now Jinjiro Chiba is out of his depth there a little bit. As Josh Brindle South was the one on him, but the free kick seems to have gone the way of Brisbane City. And there's another man down. It's Luke Plummer on the deck. As he'll receive some more treatment. Not the first tonight. Scott Halliday also had a brief moment on the sideline. Luke Plummer had a successful stint with Peninsula Power prior to joining City. He signed with the club last year. Of course, Penn Power, and they turned things around since the appointment of Aaron Philp back at the helm at AJ Kelly Park. And they had a slow start to the year, but they've now going to find themselves in a preliminary final against Gold Coast Knights. That's first v 6th on Friday night at 7:30 p.m. live from the Croatian Sports Centre. Of course, the winner of this faced Moreton Bay United, who finished second, and Gold Coast United, who finished third, are out. They're the first to exit the finals. Picking up 36 points, 10 wins, 6 draws, 6 losses. And they finish inside that top 4, but they bow out as Joe Duckworth measured that ball into the area, but Riley Stent has no problems with that. And of course, this all leads towards the big day on the 17th of September at Suncorp Stadium. The setting for the 2023 FQPL 1 men and women and National Premier League's men and women grand finals. All on the Sunday. Tickets will be released very shortly, so make sure you grab your seat. The way things are going, well, Brisbane City looking like they're in a great position to advance to that preliminary final. However, the Lions still have time, 20 minutes and change, to turn this scoreline around. But Kai Bolton it is again. The bolts away. He's done this a number of times tonight. He has Makwaze in support, and Makwaze just overruns the pass. Hasn't he been mega, Kai Bolton? Wore the captain's armband against these two in round 14. Joint recipient of the club Golden Boot in 2020 in his 7th season with City. And he also notched up a nice milestone this year, picking up 50 appearances in the top side for the club. You can see why they love him in this part of Brisbane, as Ivan Aussie unfortunately forces another flag. Roger McDonald didn't win the race to the ball. It was a clean challenge from Luke Plummer. Now Doolan has McKenzie ahead of him. Hart Phillips fends off Connor McKenzie. Pengelly. Rye Denton. Here is Hart Phillips. Just has his ball deterred. Now it's Duckworth. Hart Phillips. Pengelly's in the area. It just won't fall for him. A little too much on the cross. They'll take a throw in lines. And they really set up shop as they hold court inside City's half. Duckworth trying to play a cute ball over the top. And again it's Duckworth who turns over possession. A real class player for Lions. He's just been in and out of his groove so far tonight. As he picked up Players Player for Lions last year, as well as the 2022 NPL Player of the Year. And he's got plenty of experience in finals, not only recently with Lions, but won that memorable 2017 Grand Final with Western Pride. Cameron Cristani and Dylan Wenzel-Halls, the goal scorers on that night at Briggs Road. Of course, Duckworth was well and truly a part of that. He's lifted that trophy up a couple of times since joining Richlands. Ramazani as Ono chased down the ball before the byline, doing very well. Brindle South lays it off as it's back with Ramazani. Now Rye Denton. Now it's Doolan. Makwaze picks up the ball and the flag rises for Jinjiro Chiba. You could just see him slowly going through the gears. They just didn't quite hit full flight. As Braden Doolan found Makwaze a little luckily. However, the after effect of that was a Jinjiro Chiba offside. As Makwaze profits from the loose ball. He just had no one there in support. And now Lions let it swing towards the left. Right, Denton. Of course, the Kappa Women's Super Cup final was on Friday night, and Lions in that one coming from behind. South United hit the front thanks to Shayana Singh with a blistering goal. It was quite the strike that set South up. And then Lions turned it around to come away 3-1 winners and retain that Kappa Women's Super Cup final trophy as they went back to back to back on Friday night. And I'm sure they'll be hoping the boys can claw this one out too. A little different this time round. It is 2-0, of course. And And the countdown towards 15 minutes remaining. I'm sure City would have played favourites despite reluctantly taking that tag. Coming into tonight, finishing ahead of Lions, who finished 5th. But both virtually neck and neck. It was only 1 point that separated them, 2 on the ladder. Now Chiba spots Ramazani. He's a hard customer to deal with, Hassan Ramazani. As Carl Dodd's going to pull the trigger, Matt Thurtle and Jackson Simpkin ready to make their way as Nathan Shepherd and Jake Minette are the 2 Lions members to turn it on for the away side, but it's Jason McQuaze coming off. Rio Ono, another one. Jackson Hart-Phillips is also making his way off, along with Connor McKenzie. 1 from Lions, 1 from City. As that sideline turns into a transit lounge for a moment. There's some new pieces to this puzzle. Where do they fit? What storyline do they write? Doolan laying it off, and then a shot track down. Simpkin it was who pulled the trigger. And a touch there from their leading goal scorer, Matt Thurtle. So somewhat a defensive play there from Carl Dodd. Calling on Jackson Simpkin, the natural defender. But he also brought on a bit of experience with Matt Thurtle. As Berean punches it away. Doolan picks out Bowles. Brindle South. Ivan Ozzie. Fucker Onasiake. 2 tall timbers going toe to toe. Shepherd. Andy Pangeli. That was a chance, and he pushes it to the left. Andy Pangeli, probably no one better in this Lions outfit that you'd want that ball to fall to. Credit to City's defence. They really turned on the spot, trying to shut down the shot. But in the end, it missed all of them and the goal. Much to the frustration of Pangeli and the delight of the home side. It looks as though Lions will slot into somewhat of a back 3 with Ramazani, Jake Minette and Tommy Jarrett, allowing Nathan Shepherd along with Fletcher McDonald to really get up the park. They've encroached well and truly on this City half as Jarrett, Brindle South, Ivan Ozzie, and it was an audacious attempt. Didn't quite come off. A bicycle kick coming out of the trick bag for Fletcher McDonald. I suppose you make your own luck in this game, and that's what Fletcher McDonald was looking to do there. They're going to need a bit of that. Lions, a little bit of luck. It just hasn't happened for them so far. Only 10 minutes remain in the 90, plus any added time we get. Thirtle, cutting one way then another, still going. Doolan stretches. Ivan Ozzie. Pengelly goes sliding, and City are back in control. Doolan. Here's Doolan, cutting away. Braden Doolan. Oh, tremendous stuff. Jake Manette had an open goal to defend, and he did it incredibly well. Brian came out to no man's land as Jake Manette was the only thing stopping a Braden Doolan goal. Third year at Lions, and he is yet to get on the score sheet in the National Premier League's Queensland, Jake Manette. But boy, oh boy, can he stop him. Doolan contested for it with Berean. Berean puts it right on the boot as the Lions pack are outnumbered. Brindle South can't control the loose pass from Riley Stent. A nervy moment for City's number one. You could hear the oohs and the ahs as the crowd just held their breath to see that play unfold. Lions are going to come in waves. You can just feel it. Rydenton. Here's Matt Rydenton. Over 130 A-League appearances to his name. Now Tommy Jarrod. And City will happily take all the time in the world, as here was the foul. Just a little too aggressive on Chiba. McDonald tips it off. Time really becoming the enemy now for Lions. Duckworth. That's a good ball. Pengelly. Andy Pengelly! Lions have a life thanks to Andy Pengelly. Somewhat a lucky bounce off the shoulder. Drops right down for Andy Pengelly. Lions top goal scorer for 2023, Andy Pangelli, puts them one behind. And a dash to the finish. They know how to draw a game, Lions. That's for sure. And they're on their way to squaring the ledger. And if that's the case, well, we'll be heading to some overtime. 15 minutes each way, and if that can't decide things, penalties will play a part. Of course, they need another moment like that one. Lions, if that's to happen. Jack Benham already has one tonight. And looking for his second. It falls for Fletcher McDonald. He's collected, and then Ivan Ozzie miscues the shot. Ziad Armatevich holding his nerve as Ifaka Onesiake came sliding in. And so it's Noah Maironi who will enter the fray, bringing Jinjiro Chiba, the goal scorer, off. Signed his first senior contract in 2023, Noah Maironi. And now he'll be hoping to see out this late surge from Lions. Doolan. Simkin. Now Halliday. He's had an integral part in that midfield, Scott Halliday. Pulling the strings for his attackers. Of course, holding down that shape in defence. Matt Rydenton's played a similar role this evening. As the drums beat for Brisbane City. One minute away from the expiration of the 90 minutes. Out of time, up to the referee's discretion, of course. Fletcher McDonald. Here is Fletcher McDonald. That was close. They get a corner, Lions. Riley Stent pulling off the stop. In it goes. Ivan Ozzie's at the back post. And Ozzie just hung that foot out. tense times at Imperial Corp Stadium. Myroney. Benham. Back for Myroney. How much out of time will there be? You couldn't imagine long. Wright Denton. Here's Wright Denton. And that's a very, very strong challenge and an important challenge from Ifaka Onisiake. Now Myroney, the substitute. Has his ankles clipped by Fletcher McDonald. That's our first yellow card. And time has just been paused here as we have a break in play. Matt Jones replaces Kai Bolton, who's put in a mega shift this evening. And Matt Jones, in July of this year, against Moreton Bay United, he notched up 100 appearances for Brisbane City. As Kai Bolton's legs have given up on him as he hobbled off the field. An impressive player with an impressive performance tonight. And for Matt Jones, 100 appearances against Moreton Bay United. If they hold on here, that's who they'll be facing in the preliminary final. Ramazani picks out Duckworth. They push bodies forward, lines. Jake Manette. Ramazani. There was Pangeli, and the pass just didn't have enough on it as Braden Doolan gets it into touch. All eyes on Ziad Amatovic. Wright Denton. Benham gets it forward. Thurtle pushed off the ball. Not sure how much was really in that. Luke Berean launches it forward. Wright Denton. Here's Doolan. Ramazani gets the ball back in Lions' favour. As Lions look for an equaliser. Wright Denton's in the area. Now Josh Brindle south, chipping it back across. Joe Duckworth cutting. Duckworth forces a tremendous save from Riley Stent. The shot stopper comes up with a special save. It's another corner for Lions. They've had a few of these. Can they make one count? And it goes. And there's a chance at the back post. Ivan Aussie got the touch. Riley Stent watched it fly by. Into the 96th minute. Ramazani trying to fire it forward. Here's Shepherd. Manette. Now Nathan Shepherd. Right, Denton. Manette. Pengelly's there. Pengelly puts it back into the area. Right, Denton. Brindle South lofts it forward. Can they get a shot away? Can they get something away, Lions? Scintillating City. Superb City. They set up a meeting with Moreton Bay United in the preliminary final. Jack Benham got things going as Jinjiro Chiba doubled their lead. Annie Pengelly gave Lions a life, but full time at Imperial Corp Stadium in the second semi-final. Brisbane City 2, Lions 1. Thank you for your company.